Confucius once said, "Some people love not you, but the reflection of themselves they see in your eyes." But there was once a young man who believed he had finally found someone who understood him, someone warm, charming, magnetic. He didn't know it yet, but this was the moment everything he believed about love stopped being true. One day, while walking through a small village, the young man saw an old shopkeeper feeding a tall wooden statue. Yes, feeding it, placing food at its base, speaking to it gently. The young man couldn't help but ask, "Why are you feeding a statue?" The shopkeeper smiled a sad, knowing smile. "Ah, this is not a statue. This is a mirror carved into a man's shape. It gives nothing. It feels nothing. But it loves the one who feeds it, as long as the feeding continues." The young man frowned. He didn't understand. Not yet, but he would. Only hours earlier, he had been thinking about her, the one he believed was different. Her laugh, her confidence, her intensity. At first, everything felt intoxicating. But Confucius taught, charm is a mask. The longer you watch, the more it slips. And slowly, the mask began to loosen. Sign 1. She rarely asked how he was, but could talk endlessly about herself. Sign 2. When he shared something personal, she redirected the conversation back to her own experiences. Sign 3. Whenever he needed comfort, she vanished. But when she needed attention, he had to be available instantly. The more he tried to understand, the more confusing everything became. Why did she seem so interested one moment, and so indifferent the next? Why did he feel guilty for wanting basic kindness? Why did he feel more tired than loved? What he didn't realize was that the real problem wasn't her inconsistency. It was that she saw him not as a person, but as a reflection. A reflection that existed to praise her, soothe her, fill her emptiness. Confucius might have said, "A narcissist loves you only as the sun loves a window, not for the glass, but for the light it reflects." He wasn't in a relationship. He was in an arrangement, an unspoken contract. You admire me. You stabilize me. You make me feel important. And in return, I will keep you hoping. One evening, he told her, "I don't feel seen." She didn't comfort him. She didn't reflect. She didn't care. Instead, she said, "Stop making everything about you." And in that moment, something broke. Because he realized there had never been a we, only her, and how he could serve her needs. Suddenly, the shopkeeper's words made sense. A mirror carved into a man's shape gives nothing, feels nothing, but loves the one who feeds it, as long as the feeding continues. He had been feeding a mirror, believing it would one day look back with warmth. It never would. He replayed every moment. Every time she needed attention, he gave it. Every time she needed reassurance, he gave it. Every time she needed praise, he offered it. But when he needed the smallest drop of empathy, there was only emptiness. He couldn't fill her, because she had no intention of holding anything he offered. A narcissist isn't a cup. They are a hole. A beautifully decorated hole that drains everyone who pours themselves into it. The young man returned to the shopkeeper. He asked, "Why keep the mirror? Why not throw it away?" The shopkeeper replied, "Because it teaches the deepest truth. Not everyone who looks like a person knows how to care like one." The young man nodded, tears burning his eyes. He finally understood. You can't teach empathy to someone who benefits from lacking it. You can't fix someone whose brokenness brings them power. You can't love someone into loving you. And you can't save someone who wants you only as a source, not as a soul. Confucius would say, if a man offers you only your own reflection, leave the well. There is no water there. A narcissist doesn't break your heart. They break your sense of reality. They make you question your needs, your worth, your sanity. But once you see the mirror, once you realize there is no person behind the performance, the spell breaks. Not because you stop loving them, but because you finally start loving yourself. Because the truth is this: a narcissist never cared about you. They cared about the supply you gave them. But the moment you stop feeding the mirror, the power returns to you. And as Confucius might say, you owe nothing to the one who starved you of the very thing you gave. Walk away. Close the door. Let the mirror feed itself. You are not here to sustain someone who refuses to see your humanity. You are made for love, not reflection. Before you go, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever fed a mirror? Have you ever given love to someone who could never give it back? If this story spoke to you, if it revealed something you've been carrying quietly, then don't let the reflection end here. Leave a comment below and tell me, what truth did you realize today? And if you want more stories like this, stories that help you understand yourself, your patterns, and the people who shaped you, then subscribe, hit the like button, and share this with someone who needs clarity. Your healing begins with awareness, and this is only the first step. Walk with me